Good evening, ma'am. We are live now. Welcome to DIC African Podcast. It's good to have you, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
for
coming.
having me. Good evening. Um, just let me know when I'm supposed to start.
All right. Okay. We are here to talk about starting out professionally as a creative. So before we start this, I want to let them know what DIC means. DIC means deep inside conversation. So here we'll be having deep inside conversation with Sister Juliet Ike. She'll be talking on starting out professionally as a creative. So before we start, ma'am, I would like you to tell us who is Juliet Ike.
Okay. My name is Juliet Ike. I love to refer to myself as a media apostolos, which means an apostle in the media space. And that's because over time I have come to understand that I am sent to the media and entertainment industry as one of the mountains of influence, and I I get, let me say, I understand to quite an extent the reason why God sent me to that space, and based on the role that God wants me to, to fill up there. So I love to refer to myself as a media apostolos. Although it's recently I had to add that to my bio, but that's it. But professionally, I am a talent developer, talent coach, and also a talent manager. I also work with personal and business brands as a brand strategist. What I do basically as a talent development coach and manager is I I help you put your talents and your gifts to effective use by showing you how to build influence, impact, and income with them through my teaching, coaching, and managing. So basically, that's what I do. Yeah, there's a lot more though, but for the for context, and also finally, I am the founder of Best Africa. It's a media startup, and also I run Maka Enterprises Incorporation by the side, which is focused on advertising, PR, and management in general. I can't hear you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All right, that's good. Because I was, yes, exactly. You said it was on risk of recent that you put that media apostles. Because I've not been doing that. I know you're a talent and management coach. But now when I began to study, I was like, okay, that could be true. 'Cause I'm not seeing that with JPI, Plain Jota, and I've been seeing you on comedy skits. I say, yes, this is true. You started and you've gone and you are going. So it's good to have you here, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, this is what you're talking on starting a profession as a creative. I believe you have a story before you wrote that book. So you have the stage to just go on and share your story. So when you are done, I'll come up with my question, then we'll wrap up the session. Thank you.
Okay. First off, let me start by saying thank you for inviting me to speak on this platform. Each time I have the opportunity to speak on platforms like this, that gives me the opportunity to either share my story or get to share some insights with young persons like myself. I see it as a privilege. I wish actually when I started out or before I started out, I had someone who was able to show me or share some certain life lessons with me. It probably would have helped me and helped fast track my journey. But regardless, I am still thankful. So anytime that I get the opportunity to share with young persons like myself now, I actually see it as a privilege, and I wish that the people that I'm sharing this with would also see this as an opportunity to draw from where I'm coming from, what I know. So before I wrote my book, I wish I knew this before. I was coming from a place of cluelessness, not because I don't know who I am or my purpose in life, but I was I'd gone from someone that is very influential in quotes, like someone people had already known. I'd built my brand online for a couple of years, let me say roughly three years, because I started officially in 2018, even though I'd been doing some things since 2016. But in 2018, that was when I launched out officially online and professionally. So from 2018 to 2020, I think that should be like 2 years plus, 2 years plus. Um, I'd built my brand online to a great extent that people know me. Even in 2020, especially in 2020, like that was when I also did my service year. So I did quite a couple of things that made rounds online. I had my personal CDS. I did three community development service projects, and it was on blogs, it was on different platforms like that. So it would be very weird for you to think that someone who had gone to that spotlight, sort of, would just go down, if that's the word. And it's not because I wanted to, but it was a transition that needed to happen, even though I did not know when and how it was going to happen. As at that time, in fact, before I finished serving, I had plans. I wanted to do some couple of businesses and all. Then I got a job. I got a job because I just finished serving through recommendation. By the way, I did not apply for the job. I was recommended for it. I didn't even want to take it because I felt like it was going to distract me from from doing what I wanted to do. And eventually it actually did. So I left the online space for a couple of time. I was very clueless. I didn't know how to get back. I didn't even know, okay, if I get back, what would people know me for? I just had so many unanswered questions. And it was in the midst of trying to find solutions to my cluelessness that I got clarity and I was able to like come back. And my coming back now is very clear. I know what I want to do. I I won't say like I have a complete or perfect picture of what I want to do, but at least to a great extent I know what I want to do and I know what God wants me to do. So I was writing that book to help somebody or a creative like myself who probably had gone through, who is in a stage of cluelessness as well and needs clarity, and just to help them, just to share with you what the most important things you need to know. And the beautiful part about the book is, even though you're not just starting out, even if you have been in that space of walking your path and doing your thing, it's still going to help you because there's a lot. I shared 10 lessons actually that I learned, that I wish somebody actually shared with me when I started out. And I would try to narrow down this story to what I'm supposed to speak on, which is how to start professionally as a creative. So I'll start by saying that value, having being a person of value, is very important. Um, in 2022, I met an artist, an up and coming artist, and each time we get to engage ourselves in a conversation, he will always tell me, "I want to blow, Juliet. I want to blow." One day I looked at him and I said, if you don't build relevance when you've not blown, it will be very hard for you to maintain relevance when you have blown. And this is what it means. If you are someone, if you're a visionary, you know, you have long-term vision for yourself and for what you want to do in life, you should not be in a hurry to be on the spotlight. You should be somewhere cooking yourself, somewhere learning, somewhere refining yourself because you are still in your most vulnerable state. In fact, as at last year, I still made some silly mistakes that I shouldn't have made. But it's a journey, it's a journey and I'm still constantly learning. And I am trying every day to improve on myself so that by the time I become that person that people look up to on the stage, I know you have expectation of me, but beyond me trying to meet certain expectation of anybody, maybe my partner or my mentor or my pastor, because these people have invested, they have trained me to a level of extent, and they have expectation of me that I will not disappoint them. So regardless of me trying to meet these people's expectation that are looking up to me, or that have held me accountable, I also want to be very impressed with my growth and be very original and be very authentic, so that you can meet me, 20 people can meet me and they will have almost the same thing to say. I'm like, oh, this is the kind of person Juliet is. And it just shows that you have grown. Because if you skip that process of growth and you jump and become very influential and all of that, and you're on the spotlight, when you make mistakes, it is easy for people to spot it out. Why? Because everybody is looking at you. All right. So it's just important that you build relevance, you grow, you invest in yourself, you are deliberate about building yourself and improving on yourself. So like I said, I'm just going to start out by saying that before saying, oh, I want to start out as a professional creative or whatever thing that you're starting out as, value is very important. You need to be a person of value. You need it. And when I mean value is something that you can put into people. When they come in contact with you, you leave them with a memory, a good memory. They know that you are a problem solver. That's what value is. You are helping people solve problems. And by helping people solve problems, you also solve certain problems for yourself. There's sometimes that I share my posts and I come back to read them on the days that I need them. Not because I posted them because I want to come back and read them, but I just realized that I'm not just sharing helping people, I'm also trying to help myself. So even the words that I speak, the things that I do, the activities that I see myself in, I try as much as possible to still learn from them because these things are valuable. These things are problem solving. Do you understand? So you need to be a person of value. Another thing I would like to establish is the fact that whatever thing that you're doing, make sure that you build on the right foundation. And this is it. If your foundation is faulty, it is easy for people to leave you when your building collapses. People are always going to be attracted to you because of what you have, because of the gifts that you have, because of what they can get from you, because they know that if they come to you, their problem will be solved. They know that if they come to you, you're going to help them out with certain things and all of that. That's why people are attracted to you. It's just like the way honey is, or let me say sugar. When you put a sugar on the table, you see ants gathering. It's because of they know that this thing is very sweet. This thing is very good for them. So people will always be attracted to you. So bear in mind that when you're starting out, or maybe when you have started out, people always come to you, but do not spend so much of your time trying to give in into others when you're not refilling yourself. So you need to constantly improve on yourself. If you preach a sermon today, for instance, if maybe you're a pastor or you're a teacher and you teach today and everybody's like, oh my God, this person is teaching so excellently well. Let me tell you that your next teaching should be better off than that, or your next sermon should be better off. And it's not because you're trying to impress people, it's because you're constantly feeling yourself as much as you're giving out. If you're always giving out and you're not feeling in yourself, it's just a matter of time. It will show that this one, there's nothing in this person's there's nothing in this person's life. So, and if there's nothing in your life, people are going to leave you and they will go, and it's just be left for you and your empty self. So, learn constantly to refill yourself. At some point, I don't, even till now, even right now, like there are some invites that I don't honor, and it's not because I am proud or anything, but I just feel like I am still building myself. I don't want to be so much out, giving out so much when I am not refilling. I have not built capacity. So you need to build capacity. And that takes me to the third point. You need to be able to build capacity. Look, building capacity is from investing in your mental ability, investing in your network, in quality relationship, ensuring that the people around you are people that people that you can learn from, people you can grow with. It's just important. The people that you're around, like they play a vital role in your growth and whatever thing you're doing. So it's just important that you invest. in the right network. So you need to be able to build capacity, take that course, apply for that program, learn that, partake in that training, just build capacity, like build capacity. I cannot even overemphasize it because it's just important. And this also makes your journey, easy. Please just give me like a few minutes. Sorry.
Two things changed me totally. One was time and two was target. Once I put my time on ground and my target, I look like a madman. A man with a vision is a madman until the vision comes to pass. You cannot pull me out like this because I am hungry to win. Except you are ready to eat this kind of spirit, you are not making progress anywhere. A case in point, I just had Thinkation 2019. The year before that, I had 700 people. But this year, I said to myself that I wanted 5,000 people to register for it. In a space of 2 months, I had 7,000 people registered. When the event came, there were 3,500 people in attendance. So that tells me that I can do more. Once you put time on any project, time on any assignment, time on anything, it changes who your friends are. It changes who you talk to. It changes where you go. If your friends are the same ones you had 5 years ago till today, that means you have not made progress.
Okay, Ma'am Juliet, are you there?
If you want to change your position, get angry with your present condition. When you walk in faith, God shows up. Numbers chapter 1 verse 18. 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 45 says if you are 20 years old, you are able to. I expect you to get angry to find out how do you become independent now. Between the ages of 13 to 19, you should be training yourself to win, to dominate the market, so that by 20 you can take a decision. Tradition has held our boys and our women down. Stay in your house till they are 30, till they are 35 years old. Then when a man stays till 30 years old, what do you want the man to do? Because when cement has gotten dry, it becomes set. It becomes set. The problem with Africa, Nigeria, is free food. Because anybody that gives you free food stops you from thinking.
Are you there?
Okay, are you back now, ma'am?
Yeah, please. Sorry for that.
Okay, that's good. You can start or continue.
Okay, so I was trying to say that you need to build capacity. You need to invest in quality resources, quality relationship, and just expand your reach. So let me now get down to the topic. Who is a creative? A creative is basically someone who creates. The reason why the topic is how to start out professionally as a creative is because so many people today they refer to themselves as creatives. And while I am not against that, it's just like we don't want to flaw the concept of creativity or who a creative is. So that's why I had to like, oh, you know what? How to start out professionally as a creative. Now, like I said, a creative is someone who creates. It's just like the way God is. We say God is a creator. So and God made us in his image and his likeness. So what he can do or what he does, we can also do. And that's why he said we are gods. That's small letter GODS. So it's basically saying that we can bring to life, we can birth things, we can create things, we can solve problems, we can our knowledge or them say our we have the ability to transform lives, we have the ability to create things, to bring things to life. And that's why today we have scientists, we have founders and CEOs or them say startups. We have people who have created products that have helped people in the healthcare that helps people in the different spaces of life. We have people today, they create digital products, digital services. They have things that they are helping people with to solve specific problems. So basically that's who a creative is. So a creative is someone who can create and has the ability to bring something to life. Let me also refer to the aspect of saying that we are made in God's image and in God's likeness. It's just the way when God created Adam, he brought all the things that he created to Adam to give them names. So whatever thing Adam called them, that is what we call them today. So it just goes on to show that Adam had so much wisdom. So this is something that he had not learned anywhere. It's just by the wisdom of God that he was able to name animals. He gave them names, and that is what we call them till today. So it just goes on to show how much wisdom we have as a person. Um, Made in the image and likeness of God. And also, it's even more important for you to know these things if you are a renewed man. And when I mean a renewed man, is becomes after the fall of Adam and Eve, man died spiritually. So those abilities were no longer in him. So it was after Jesus Christ came, since we had the gift of salvation, redemption from sins. So we regained that personality. So if you're saved, you regained that personality. So and this is a function of the Holy Spirit that we have inside of us. So it's the with the help of the Holy Spirit inside of you, it helps you to create things. It helps you to bring to life certain things that nobody has ever thought of. The Bible says in I think it's Second Corinthians or First Corinthians that eyes have not seen. I think First Corinthians 2:9. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, it has not entered into the heart of any man. The things God has prepared for those that love Him. So it just goes on to say that there is more to what God can do with any man who is yielded, who is open enough to learn these things. So when you say you are a creative, it means you are a solution driven person, you're a problem solver. You can bet to life, you can create things, you can bring to life things that nobody has ever imagined. Sometimes I try to sit down and think about the things that God has told me that I'm going to do, and I'm like, I've searched, even though you might say, oh, maybe because I've not searched so well, but at least the number of research that I've done and I've looked around, I've not seen somebody that wants to do what I want to do. And that's why I am not pressured to do certain things because I'm like, you cannot do it the way Juliet Ike would do it. Even if you try to copy, you cannot. I mean, the difference is still going to be there. And from time, I'd always trained my mind that I don't have any competition. I know it might sound so cliche and you'd be like, oh, you are too religious. Everybody have a competition. I don't. I feel like for you to say that I have a competition is when somebody is doing what I am doing. So you are not doing what I'm doing. So as much as I can admire the things that you do, I can learn from what you are doing. I am not under any pressure to perform because I don't think there's anybody that is doing what I'm doing or is going to do what I am supposed to do. So as a creative, um, you are simply someone, like I said, that is solution driven. You are bringing to life solutions to people's problems. Today we have people with different problems, emotional problems, mental problems. And when I mean mental problems, I don't mean not necessarily in terms of mental health. People have traumas, people have lots of emotional baggages they are dealing with, and they need somebody that can help them. To be honest, they need people that can help them. People are just looking for somebody to pour their heart to. In fact, that's why I am not so open to people sharing certain emotional things with me because I'm like, I'm also going through my own. I'm trying to get off, where I am. So you sharing your own is like you're giving me weight. So that's why I feel like the first point of call is
Double wahala.
okay. The first point of call is allowing the Holy Spirit to actually work in us because it's the Holy Spirit that can take off that baggage, to be honest. And it's in Him that you find direction and so many other things. All right. So today people have different issues. People need counselors. People need therapists. So people are just looking for who to pour their mind to, who can help them. So there are so many problems in the world. Today people have relationship problems. People want to know how they can be in good relationships, they can love somebody rightly, somebody can love them rightly, so many things. Today people have talents that they are looking for someone that can just teach them, train them how to groom their talent, how to manage their talent, how to make money with their talent. People have different problems. So it's just for you to find the space where you fit in, where your own value is needed, and create a solution in that space. And that is what makes you a creative. All right. So it's not with the name tag, oh, I'm a creator, I'm a creator. What are you doing? What products have you created? What strategies do you have? What platform are you on? Where are you? Where are you positioned? Where are you stationed in? How are people seeing you? How do people perceive you? What do people think about you? What do they think about what you're doing? So all of these things is what would determine if indeed you're a creative, or you're just, making mouth, oh, I'm a creative, and and all of that. So it's just important for you to know where you fit in. So starting out as a creative basically is defining your message, defining your goals, defining your audience, defining the strategies, defining the products and the services that you want to offer, or how do you want to help these people that you are sent to, or that you have figured out that they need the value that you have. So basically, so these are like the vital things you need to know when starting as a creative. So defining your brand message is basically saying, oh, this is what I do, and this is what I'm driven by. If you've come in contact with me long enough, you hear me always say that I'm called as a light bearer. I'm sent to African creatives. I always say that I help you refine your talent. I help you make sure that you put them into effective use by training, coaching, and managing you. I mean, these things are very definite. So you cannot, if I send you my profile to read, at a glimpse, you already know what I do. You get, my goal is clear, my audience is clear. Basically everything that I do is clear. So it's just, that's basically how it is. That's basically how it should work. So, and even if you don't have a particular product that you have created that you want to use in helping people solve their problems, it could be in a service. So, while I was not so active online, someone would think that, oh, maybe I was not making money, or I was not being engaged by other things and all of that. I do a 9 to 5 job, but aside that, I still do my coaching services. And you will not believe that somebody actually reached out to me. In fact, she didn't even reach out. I just saw that somebody paid for my consultation call, and I'm like, ooh, who is this person? Because I know I've not posted about this in a long time. And the person, later, chatted me up, and we got talking. I was like, how did you see my profile? She was like, I started you up on Instagram before, and you said I should take your consultation call if I want to ask you questions. I was like, oh wow, I can't even remember. So all these things, so despite the fact that I have not been so active, I'm just giving this as an instance. It just goes to show you how it is, or how important it is for you to establish what you are doing. So she reached. So after the conversation I had with her, I had to schedule a call, and we had the call. And during the conversation, I started seeing that the reason why she booked the call, because after booking the call, there's a form for you to fill. And in that form, she was like, oh, I booked this call because you're a talent manager and I know the things that you do. And after the entire conversation, the entire call, consultation call, and she gave me a review, I was like, wow, amazing. And this person, currently, she's on my private coaching session, and this is something that I did not even put out. All right. So building and establishing your brand message and your brand goal is very important. Even if it goes on to show that people can decide to recommend you in that space based on the things that they are seeing that you're doing, even if you are not so active at a particular period of time. All right. So, making your brand message very specific, definite, clear. Let it be crystal clear. Let everybody that sees it know what you are into. You cannot come to my profile and read maybe like two or three of my posts, or even check out my profile, and you will not know that, oh, this person is in the media space or in the entertainment space and all of that. Even though this is a career path that I just transitioned into, and I'm just beginning to nurture or to grow. All right. So it's just important for you to be able to define your brand message as a creative. You're saying I'm a creative and I want to start out professionally. The first place you should start with is defining your brand message and your brand goals. It's not by doing logo, it's not by doing uh designs. All those things are good, but don't be so carried away with aesthetics, with CEO or something, or management, or make sure that you build, you develop, because this thing is long term. Except you want to just do wudu wudu to the answer and you don't want to last, basically, then you can now carry on with doing, starting from the top instead of you to build from under. You're now climbing from top. I don't even know do people climb from top. So it's just important that you start, you deal with the most important things. And today you see a lot of people say, I am a brand this, I'm a brand that, but by the time you engage them in conversation, they are not solid. There's nothing solid about what they are doing, apart from the fact that they have a logo, apart from the fact that they are a CEO of blah 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 network or whatever thing. All those things are good. It's good. Let's, yeah, that somebody wants to introduce you and like, oh, we are CEO of this and that. It's good, but it's not enough. You need to be able to build on a solid foundation. And by building on a solid foundation is for you to be crystal clear about your brand message and your brand goals, about the solution that you are providing. This is important because if I don't know what you're doing, I would not engage you. So I think a couple of months ago, there's this person I had followed online who I felt it was good with content marketing. So I sent him a DM and I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to create a content strategy for myself. So let's get on a call. Well, the end of the story is found that this person is not competent. But if you go online, you see the person's profile, you're like, oh my god. But there's no roots, there's no solid foundation to what you're doing. If you wake me up from sleep, like, and ask me, Juliet, as a talent manager, what do you do? I can tell you because this is something that I have grown from knowing, writing, to drinking and sleeping and eating. Do you understand? So it has become a part of me. That is how your brand message and your brand goal should be like. It's not something that today you are saying something else, tomorrow you are saying something. You are not specific. You're not one place. No, stay one place, right? Um, Then the other thing I said was define your audience. So who are your audience? And it's even easy for you to define your audience when you have like specific, let me say, age range or location. So it could be, oh, my audience, maybe what you want to do is for teenagers. So you can say, oh, my audience is from 13 to, let me say, 13 to 18, something like that. So it just makes it very easy for you to know the people you are going to reach and how to reach them. You know, define them in terms of gender. Are they male? Are they female? In terms of location, are they people in Nigeria, what states, things like that. It just helps you to know how to reach out to these people, how to connect with them, because these are the people that you want to help. So it's important that you know how to help the people that you want to help, where to meet them, how to connect with them, how they can connect with you, how they can they can build relationship in quotes, even though it's business relationship with you, and just basically just how to, so that it will be easy for you to know how to add value to them. All right. So it's just important for you to define it. Then okay, so another thing, like I mentioned earlier, okay, still in terms of audience, knowing where to meet these people, knowing what platform to use in reaching out to these people. So are they on Facebook? Also, are you going to use online platforms, or you're going to meet them one on one? If you're going to meet them one on one, are you going to meet them at events? What events do you need to attend to meet up with these people? What programs do you need to be at to connect with these people? If it's online, is it on Facebook? Is it on Instagram? Is it on Twitter? It's just for you to define your brand goals, then that way it's easy for you to know where your audience are. Then I think the last thing I mentioned was how to reach them. And what I mean here is, or how to help them is either you creating a service or creating a product. So it's funny these days that people say they learn, let me say they take a course on graphic design, a 1 month course. That 1 month course, they attended class like 5 times. Then they did wuru to the answer, and at the end they had a certificate. They come, they post, oh, I'm certified graphic designer, or let me say people that learn content writing, or I'm a certified content writer. And the next thing you see is on their bio, content strategists and all of that. And after putting it on their bio, you now see them say the next a week, a week is too long. 2 days after they've done design, I want to teach people content marketing is this one, content this one, content that, and they put out a flyer, class have started. That is not it. Let me even start by saying that it is not all skills that you monetize. There are so many things, there are so many training that I've taken that I it's not like I cannot teach them, but I know that if I start teaching them, it's a distraction. So it's important for you to know that it is not all skills that you must monetize. It is not all the courses that you take that you must monetize. In fact, there was a time I used to teach. In fact, before, if you had met me 2020, 2021, I used to teach people on different digital skills. So there was a time I took a lady on CV writing. I teach people CV, and I still do that now. But if you want me to teach you now on that, you really have to pay because it's just I take private classes. So so the lady had I was teaching her on CV writing. I even gave her like an assignment to do. She has not submitted the assignment yet, but you will not believe that this lady on her status, she has not completed the assignment though. In fact, she just completed the class. She was already telling people, I can teach you how to write CV, and I was like, wow, is that how you people do it? And it was a WhatsApp class, and if you've taken any of my classes, you know that I am very, very detailed. So maybe she was blown away by the notes that I gave her, and she was like, ah, see material, money, money, and you see a lot of people do that. That's very wrong. A training that you've not even completed the class and you are teaching, so it's not those skills that you must monetize. All right. And that's why if you look at how I was trying to explain the various ways you need to start out, I didn't start by saying learn a skill. I didn't start by saying um do logo. I've not even mentioned anything branding. Are you seeing it? So it goes to show you that monetization is the last thing. It's not the first. Don't break it up. Yeah, money is important. You might say, oh, I need to make money. But you need to be solid enough, like competent enough in the things that you're doing. Because if you're not competent enough, nobody's going to pay you. That's just it. So so like I said, the final one is for you to know how to reach the people that you want to reach, your audience. So are you going to create a product? Are you going to offer a service? What are you going to do? How are you going to what are you going to be doing for them to be able to solve this problem for them? So are you going to put your knowledge or put the solution in a book for them to read? Are you going to put it in a course? Are you going to put it in a coaching session? All these things are the things that you need to think about when you're starting out with a creative. And a bonus is for you to get how I wish I knew this before by Juliet Ike is going to help you and crush. In fact, if you're starting out, go and get that book. And if you come from this community, I'm going to give you a 50% discount to get it. So at least I've tried. So that'll be all. I don't know if anybody has questions.
Wow, wow, you tried. You know, like you said, you are very detailed. You are very detailed. You went from step one to step two to step three. You don't want to climb the staircase and put your leg on the step two. You first start from the first place, climb step by step till you get up. So I am impressed. Thank you for that. So you said if anybody is coming from this community, you will give them discounted price for your book, right? Okay, no problem. Thank you for that. Can you still hear me?
Can you hear me? I think my mic is muted. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep,
I can
yep.
hear you.
Okay, you were hearing the things I was saying, right?
Yes, I did. I did. I did.
All
I
right.
can hear you.
Okay. The time you posted that your book, there was a place you posted a picture where you were, I think you were wearing pampers for, or you were beating that baby. I was like, what is the story behind this picture? I was like, what's the story behind the picture? Because you were saying, oh, that's why you need to read this book. This was me. So yeah, this is what I was doing. Maybe I don't know if you were volunteering for something. Because the time I knew you was the time you were doing this. I don't know if they call it pad up girls. You used to get pad. That your entire newspaper. I was seeing you with some Muslim girls. Christian, you were going from school to school to give something. I
Okay.
don't know if you remember those times.
Those are like different occasions though. So it depends on the one that the first one you said. I think it was the outreach I went for in Owerri. Um, the thing is, when I started out, I didn't just start out as Juliet Ike that people know today. I started out serving. I started out working for people. So I was volunteering. I was I was just basically doing what I could do to help. That's another thing you need to learn and embrace as a creative to serve other persons because it's going to help you. In fact, through serving, you're going to identify yourself, you're going to be able to meet people, connect with people, and just be in that community or space of like minded people like yourself who would inspire you and want you to be better.
Okay, okay. Now I understand. So now, for people who want to start, like now, people let's say they don't have skill, they have not no graphic design, this that. So what do you advise them? People who don't have skill, who think they don't have skill or they don't have skill, where do you think is the best way for them to start from? Do being a creative does it start from having skill or it start from thinking?
Hello, can you hear me?
I
Can you
can
hear
hear you.
me?
Did you get my question? Yes, I can hear you. Did you get my
Yes, I
question?
did. Yes, I
Okay,
did.
okay.
So, I'll start by saying, referring back to what I said in the beginning, which is, you need to be valuable. And for you to be valuable, it means that you have a solution. So, if you don't have a skill, you don't have knowledge, how do you want to have a solution? So, I think it answers the question of do you need to have a skill? All right, you need to be somebody that has value. And for you to have value, it means you have knowledge in something. And to have knowledge in something means you have learned it, you have learned about something. Do you understand? Um, Let me also say that one of the things that inspired me to even start out was my course. I studied sociology in the university, and because of that, I was open to learning history and quite a number of things. So all those problems that I saw that Africa was going through, or my country, Nigeria, was going through, it just spoiled me. I was like, how can we be suffering this way? How can so many things be so wrong? And yes, nobody's talking about it, nobody's doing anything about it. So it's just for you to know the trigger. There's so many things that will trigger you to wanting to start something. So when I started out with my foundation. But today, even though my foundation is still there, it's not what I am projecting because I have grown, I have unlearned, I have gone through so many phases. So it has helped me to redefine certain things. Do you understand? But before I started my foundation, I had knowledge. I had read about history, I had read about some social problems, and I had seen where I fit in, had seen how I could solve these problems. Some of these problems, even not all, even though I didn't have so much clarity, but because I had knowledge, I had value inside of me. So it was easy for me to start out. So when I even started out, I started by I was running this WhatsApp community where I was teaching people personal development, emotional intelligence, so many different topics. Sometimes I will even invite some speakers to come and see, but majority of the time I was the one teaching. I was just pouring out into people based on the things that I have learned. So imagine if I had not learned all these things, I've not read that book, I've not taken that course, I've not been trained. How was I going to be able to pass all these things? So I think it answered the question if I should have a skill or not. All right. Then on the other one, what's the other question you even asked? Um,
I asked if being a creative is first having a skill or being a thinker.
okay, so I think there's no like a, a direct answer to that. So I think both of them actually works. You need to be someone that can vet out solutions. Yeah, I think I remember what I wanted to say. So being a creative is basically you creating something. So for you to create something means you have thought about it. It's not something you just wake up and say, oh, I want to create this product. No, it means you have taken your time to think about it. You just um in fact, look at God in the history of creation. He said God said that it was not good. He said there was darkness upon the face of the earth. God created light. Are you seeing? So it's not like God just decided to create light. He just everything. The Bible will tell you, oh, he created it because of this to separate. When he created two great lights, he said the the greater light will rule the day, the lesser light will rule the night. That's the moon and the sun. So it's giving you reasons why these things were created. So it's not something you just wake up and say, "Oh, I just want to." So it's require both you thinking it out and creatively putting it into something that you can convey to other people, because that's the end product. If you have a solution and people cannot, how do people benefit from it? Is when you can effectively convey it to them. You cannot tell me now that, oh, I have knowledge in this thing and you're not helping anybody with it. Nobody knows anything about it. You're just saying that I have potential. It's not potential people will eat. Can your potential solve people's problem? That's what you should be reasoning, thinking about. So I hope that I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, that answers the question. Wow, thank you. The next question is this. You spoke about monetization. People will just learn a skill, don't be active in class. Maybe, yeah, people can run the class for 1 month or 2 weeks or 1 week, maybe a WhatsApp class or a Facebook community class. And somebody just pay for a course. Once he or she gets the certificate, he will run and post it that I'm now a certified graphic designer. Why they don't even know how to do this thing, or they will say that CEO of social company because they have learned this thing somewhere. They want to be CEOs of. They want to create their own brand. So you talk about this thing. Now the question is this: when is the right time for someone to monetize what or their skill? Yeah, when is the right time for someone to monetize their skill or what they know?
Okay, the
Because
best
people
time
are
to
very
monetize
desperate
your
to make
skill.
money, make money, make money with maybe one thing that
Yeah,
just learned.
yeah, I get you. The best time to monetize your skill is when you are competent. Like you are so good at it, you can now start thinking monetization. I know that they will tell you. I say it too. I tell my students that's where you are, start anyhow. But the fact that you are going to start where you are does not mean that you should start shabbily and start doing rubbish. You need to be competent in whatever thing that you want to do. I know that you will say, oh, I don't have all the knowledge. And sometimes people will tell you, I didn't have all the knowledge when I created this business. Yeah, maybe they did not have all the knowledge, but at least they were good at something. Check it. There's no way you tell me you're not good at anything, you're not competent at anything, and you're telling me you want to start. What are you starting? You will just get the minor results. You will not get the major share. So when you can start monetize your skill is when you are competent enough. When you know that you can use this skill to solve people's problems. When you know that you can offer this as a service to people and it will be beneficial to them. So it's not just about the money. Yes, the money is good. You want to start so that you can start making money. Yeah, the money is good, but that should not be the only thing that is driving you. That should not be your only driving force. Oh, it's because I want to make money of this thing. That's why I am doing this thing. No, it's beyond just money. There's a lot that goes into monetization. All right. So yeah, that's just it. Be competent.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, we just have less than 10 minutes to go. Okay, this is the next question. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You know, are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Fun.
Okay, this is the next question. You know, you said you started out volunteering for people before you know you became a talent coach and management, and now you're a media apostolos because you had direction. I know that many would not even have, let me not say they don't have direction, they don't have clarity. And you know, we have many skills there. We have high demand skills. You know, we have high income skills. So now for people to have clarity, where do you think, or what do you think they need to do to get clarity of what they need to do, what skill they need to learn to be able to have relevance before they start monetization or before they start making money from that thing that I've learned?
Okay. Let me start by saying that clarity is a journey. It's not something that you just get at once. Right now, there are still some things that I still need clarity on, even though I have an idea of what I want to do. So, but the more you begin to work on that thing, that you get clearer at it. So it's not a skill that you must learn. It's just a journey, a process that you must go through. And that's why you should be able to learn how to enjoy your process. You might see somebody that you feel like the person is doing better than you. The person there's something that the person has done that you have not done. That's why you are still where you are. So it's just for you to identify what space you need to fill up, things you need to do to be able to get off point A and get into point B. Do you understand? So basically that's just it. So it's not a skill. And one of the things that helped me to gain more clarity is through coaching and mentorship. I cannot overemphasize it. It's very important for you to have a coach. It's very important for you to have a mentor. You cannot grow yourself by yourself. You need people that will take you through that journey. There are people who have gone through the space or that phase where you are, they have gone through that phase and they can help you. So it's for you to identify where they are, who they are, where they are, and connect with them. And connecting with them might not be easy. Mentorship and coaching is not free, especially coaching. Coaching is not free. You need to pay for it. So you need to get to that point where you can you can pay to speak with somebody, a professional or someone that can guide you, someone that you can share your problems with and they can give you solutions to them. All right. Um, this month I'm taking few persons for my my consultation call. So if you're interested, you can let me know. You can book a consultation call with me and ask me any questions. I should get whatever thing that you need clarity with. So yeah, that's it. So like I said, it's a journey, it's a process, and something that it requires other persons to help you get out of. It's not something that it's not a skill that you learn. It's a process, it's a journey. It requires intense work and it's a work that you need to go through or you need to pass through. And I think I shared more on that in my more about it.
All right. Thank you so much. That is the last question. So before you leave, I want to ask you this. What's your last word for us?
Um, I would say that creativity does not have an end. There's no end to being a creative. I can wake up tomorrow and decide to not to do what I am doing now, and that's because I am not constrained or restricted to a particular thing, a particular title, or a particular function. There's a lot. When you dig deep, you see that there's a lot to who you are and to what you can do. That's why I am almost I cringe when people say I am called to become a brand strategist. No, you're not called to be a brand. That's just a title. That's just a, an inch of what you can do. There's a lot more that you can do. Your purpose is not tied to owning a foundation. It's not tied to owning a business. there's a lot. So it's for you to understand what your purpose is, work in it, understand your calling on your assignment, and work boldly in it. So yeah, that's my final word.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma'am Juliet Ike. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you
for coming
too for
for
having me.
DIC Africa podcast. I love you. God bless you. Do have a blissful night. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for having me. I appreciate. Bye. I'm
Thank
so
you.
yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye. God bless you. So we've come to an end of the IC African podcast. See you tomorrow.